Nigeria and the Gabonese is still goalless after first 45 minutes of the encounter. It is the FIFA World Cup playoffs live in Rabat, Morocco, and of course we'll bring you live feeds from that side, and of course we'll also look at incidents from the game. But I'm not going to do this alone because I have with me Ekujuru Uzoma Friday, also known as Lamasia, joining us live on today's edition of the show. Lamasia, it's a beautiful evening. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Tempo. Thank you, Parakot. It's another wonderful evening to talk sports here. And today is a very special day. We see the Super Eagles of Nigeria doing the business. And we believe after the next 90 minutes, we'll see them, declared the next stage, to play in the World Cup.
You sound very optimistic that they are going to be playing the World Cup. Gabon, don't want to play in the World Cup?
Yeah, Gabon too want to play in the World Cup, but if you watch the first 45 minutes, we understand that the Super Eagles of Nigeria are more determined to play in the World Cup. And today, we've seen it in their play. They are very, very connected, though they have missed a couple of chances. But I believe in the second half, all the chances missed maybe will be recreated. And then we'll now be sending Uzana to the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Beautiful. Okay, let's start with the game. I mean, hosting this game in Morocco, what does that tell you about the state of art facilities that the Moroccans they built for FIFA to have so much confidence to host the game at the Moulay Hassan Stadium, all the games? What does this mean for the Federation of Morocco when it comes to football activities in Africa?
Yeah, it's a very, very good one for Morocco, and obviously I think they deserve the accolade. They deserve hosting the playoff, and I think with what they have put in place, the facilities already available for football, I think they deserve it. Before FIFA can approve a stadium for playoff games like that, I think the facilities must have been checked, and everything put in place. So I think with what they have done in terms of facilities, in terms of the kind of stadia they have in Morocco, I think they deserve it. So it's not a fluke. If any other country, well, I know Morocco is not just the only country that can host this. They applied for the hosting right and actually received it. But then we must not forget in a hurry that before you can be allowed by FIFA to host tournaments like this, you must put some things in place, and that is what they have done. Here in Nigeria, it's unfortunate that most of our matches are played in the Gospel of Abia Stadium, even in our continental matches. Talking about the CAF Champions League, every Nigerian is playing in that place, and that is to tell you that we need to improve our stadia, okay, locally and internationally, so that we can meet up this requirement. Today everybody is talking about Morocco. We are talking about them because they have put something tangible, something fantastic, okay, and they deserve it. So I think it's a wake-up call for our football federation and our government that we need to equip, we need to build more, we need to also put in place the right things, and when we do that, certainly we can host tournaments like this.
It's the FIFA World Cup playoffs live show here from the studios of Atlantic Television Network, and I tell you, we'll preview, also review actions in the first 45 minutes of the encounter live there at the Moulay Stadium in Rabat, Morocco. That stadium has 22,000 capacity, and it is one of the stadia that they provided for the African Cup of Nations that will take place December to January this year. So basically, when you look at it, Lamasia, you think that these are some of the lessons that Nigeria shouldn't just go there. Should we qualify from the playoffs? And I'm sure that somebody will even say that arguably Morocco have almost in every city in the metropolis, they have stadiums that you will be proud of. And I think that going by the recent issues of the KB Stadium, what FIFA grant money was used, Nigeria should even do more in that regard, especially when it has to do with appropriation bills for next year. Part of it should be, what can we do to have more stadia apart from the Gospel Akpabio International Stadium?
Yeah. You are very, very correct on that, very, very spot on. We're not just going there to play. Our football administrators should also emulate what their counterparts have been able to put in place for football. Football is not just receiving money. The money you received, you have to invest the money. You have to equip the facilities. You have to build facilities. You have to make your league very, very wonderful. Moroccan league is one of the best we have in Africa, and that is why they are part of the top-ranked clubs in Africa, and everything is just going in their place. It does not mean that here in Nigeria we don't have the resources, we don't have all it takes to build such stadiums. But what happened is that we are not concentrated on developing our leagues, and it has affected us a lot. So I think what is happening in Morocco should be an eye-opener for our sports administration. There's also go and learn, then bring it home. You bring back good things home, and what is happening there, for me, it's not a fluke. It's a simple indication that Morocco as a country have developed their football to a larger extent. Morocco, if you see their stadia, just equivalent to that of those ones we have in Europe. And that's just what it's supposed to be. So it's the same money we are actually using, the same money we are receiving from FIFA and our football federation. Morocco, to an extent, is not that big. We have Nigeria, the giant of Africa. If we are giant of Africa, then we have to show it by example. We have to lead by example. We're not supposed to be playing our matches, CAF matches, CAF Champions League, CAF Confederation Cup, Rivers United, all of us, we are moving to go to Abia Stadium. It's not helpful. And that is why most times you see the fans are lacking. You see players play without their fans, being, cheering them up. And this has some emotional or psychological effect on the players. But if you play with your fans, the fans don't need to travel that far to watch you. They come around, gather and cheer you up, and they win matches. So in a nutshell, we need to emulate from the Moroccan sports administrators what they have achieved, then consolidate on that. By so doing, definitely our football, not just our stadium, our football definitely going to improve.
Of course, we hope that our football truly will definitely improve, and with all of these backlash, criticisms, constructive one indeed. I hope that the NFF will look at what is happening in Morocco and look at it as what can we do back home here. All right, the players are out for the second half of the encounter, and the kickoff just started in the second half. Let's take a look at what is happening as it stands now. We'll start with the selection of players by Eric Chell. The man has come out with a list of players that will prosecute this particular one. Let's talk about Eric Chell. A lot of people will tell you that apart from God, if there's one person who controls the affairs of a team, is Eric Chell. How will you rate his, from the squad he's put out, how will you rate the overall tactical idea he has brought to the Super Eagles thus far?
To be very, very candid with you, I think Eric Chell has done very, very wonderfully. That I personally commend him. Right from the first day he took the offer to manage the Super Eagles of Nigeria in this regard, I think he has done very, very well. And for the selection today, in today's match against GABON, I think he has given his best. And when you look at the team play, you see that the team are actually playing very, very well. Though no goal scored yet, but I'm very, very optimistic that what the coach has put in place, certainly second half, we are going to see goals, pumping in. There are key chances for the Super Eagles. Osimhen scored, and it was, ruled out. There was an argument if the ball actually crossed the line, but at the end of the day, the referee decided that it was not a goal, and then the match continued. So there are a lot of chances created by the Super Eagles. I like the team play, the coordination, the determination. If they actually continue in that fit, certainly, at the end of today, we'll have 3 points for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
So let's look at the players who are the key actors now in the field of play. Nigeria, they are still possessing the ball, but we'll come to all of those stats. Coach Eric Chell decided to stick with Wilfred Ndidi as a captain for this encounter. Yeah,
I saw that, and then I considered. Some persons will argue why our captain, being in the person of Truth Ekong, was not playing. And recently, he has not been starting. Not that he not playing well, but we have to remember that the match before the Benin Republic match, he scored an own. I think that's supposed to be South Africa versus Nigeria. Yeah, okay. So I think to an extent, I don't want to say his confidence reduced, but I think the coach want to play in a manner that will reduce errors, especially in the defense line. So whoever is playing understands that the team is playing to win. We are not playing individually, we are playing as a team. So who plays first, who starts the game is not actually important. What is more important is the Super Eagles to win the match. So I think Truth Ekong understands this to himself, and that is why he's very, very happy. I'm not sure he's complaining. because second half he might come in. But for now, the players available for the game, they are doing fantastically well. And I want to believe if they continue to do like this, as I said earlier, certainly will win the match today.
Still in the midfield, he also decided to stick with the likes of Rafael Onyedika. Adams will partner with Ndidi to steal, the middle of the park, which currently they are doing so. We're trying to possess the ball too.
Yeah, Wilfred Ndidi and Adam, as you mentioned,
and Rafael Onyedika.
And Rafael Onyedika. One thing good about them is that their partnership is really working. Okay, they are understanding each other, and they are able to translate the game to the strikers. They are constantly flapping the pass to the strikers. They are not stingy with the ball. They understood that we don't need to do more dribblings in the midfield. We need to allow the ball flow, and that they have been doing with confidence. So if they continue to pass the ball to the strikers, especially our key man in the person of Victor Osimhen, certainly we'll see a goal. But for now, I want to believe that the translation of the passes, the understanding in the midfield, the coordination of these midfielders, the understanding of the passes too, are very, very key, and they are playing according to instruction, I guess. And I see the coach tapping and hailing them. So if they continue like this, certainly the game will flow. Another thing I want to mention here is that there is a free flow of the ball from the defense line to the midfield, and the midfield to the strikers and the wingers. So everything is going on as planned. One thing we have not seen here is, the goals coming in. But certainly, if they continue like this, definitely goals will keep coming. I
can tell you that the Super Eagles of Nigeria, they are still controlling, possession after 49 minutes of encounter. In the live game there in Rabat, Morocco. But let's take a look at still blend. I mean, to the attacking midfielders like Alex Iwobi. You talk about Chukwueze, Samuel Chukwueze. Not also forgetting that man, Ademola Lookman. How you rate their attacking, prowess so far in the first half of the encounter?
Yeah, they have been attacking wonderfully well. For now, I have not seen any mistake. I don't have any reason to complain. So if I don't have any reason to complain, definitely there's no need to complain.
A lot of things that, somehow we've seen some of the passes played, they've been jittering. We've not really seen that very well in this encounter.
Yeah, they are not jittering. We should understand that.
Certain, Iwobi has been jittering a little bit.
Iwobi is not jittering. One thing the fans must understand that this is a high-profile match. Okay? Everybody is playing with carefulness. Nobody wants to be blamed. And that is why professionalism plays out here. So they are doing their best. They understand that every Nigerian is watching this game, mostly, maybe. And again, if something happens, maybe against you, you'll be in the lips of, every Nigerian soccer fan. But the truth is that they are professionals. They have been playing important matches. And today is not an exception. So don't say anybody, I didn't see anybody jittering. The truth is that a time comes when a player can be under pressure. But the ability to manage the pressure and deliver, is what matters. So even though there may be pressures, which I cannot completely eradicate from this game, there may be pressure, but for now, I want to tell you that the players are handling the pressure very, very well. So they are doing perfectly well.
I mean, Nigeria just considered a very close free kick there, and it looks as though the Gabonese, they are protesting for the penalty there, because one of the man was brought down in the box, and it looks as though the referee will look at it to see if there was any infringement, in that place. And so maybe waiting for the VAR to see, but they are really complaining, and they're hoping that I think that's going to be a throw and not a penalty as they are agitating there. But we're still seeing how far games are. I mean, hoping for the VAR to make a proper decision on that particular one. Let's talk about the VAR and the action so far as seen in the game.
Yeah, there was a cross that Victor Osimhen almost converted, and the goalkeeper was smart enough to point the ball out. And some, arguing that the ball actually crossed the line. So I was expecting the referee to maybe consult VAR, but nothing was done, and decision was made, though the players accepted the decision. But for now, I have not seen any critical input of the VAR so far. But then maybe in the course of what.
And as I speak to you right now, the referee is going to the to see if there was any infringement, you know, for if the player of Gabon was pushed down,
yeah.
you know, by the Nigerian players there, you know. But it looks as though the VAR has called him to the the screen, you know, outside the field of play, and he's looking at it to see if there was truly any infringement, you know, before the fall. So regardless, we'll get to see how all of this will pan out. The decision of the referee will be final, but it's still 53 minutes so far, and even if anything comes out from it, Nigeria still have enough time to think how they can equalize this particular one.
Exactly.
But then this is why VR is very important in games like this, to see, you know, look at certain decisions and see if there was any infringement, and they'll get to see how it goes. But should this, I mean, it's difficult to really say what will happen, but it looks as though the player was not dragged down, but then at the back something was, you know, the player from Nigeria held him, you know, held his shirt, except so I don't think if there's any other thing, because I'm looking closely to see what might just play out in that encounter.
Yeah, that is why I told you earlier before now that this is a high-profile match. The match is very, very crucial, not just to Nigerians but to Gabonese, and the players must be very, very careful. That is why not every tackle you go for, even though you're going for a tackle, you must do it professionally in a manner that don't, you know, incur, you know, a very difficult foul for your country. And sometimes because of that, you know, players having this in mind as if they are playing under pressure. No, they're not playing. They are playing with utmost carefulness, and that is what they are doing. You know, incidents like this can actually cause a penalty, and before you know, it's just over. So they are playing with that carefulness. Nobody wants to make any mistake. The captain of the team, in the person of Truth Ekong, told us before this match that they want to play this match without errors. And these are the things that they have to work hard. They want to try. They must be professional. You must understand that there are tackles that you must not get involved, even though you must not let your opponents, you know, take the lead. But then you must be careful in your tackles and passes. So this is what plays out. The Super Eagles of Nigeria have to, you know, be more careful in defending. We know that nobody wants to lose the game, but then there are some, you know, tackles that are not necessary. So when they come, be mindful of the game and just play the game and leave the rough part of the game.
Play the game and leave the rough part, and let's see how it all plays out. But the referee is really taking his time there to analyze, you know, what transpired, and to see, to come up with a decision. And a lot of person will tell you that when you look at the referees, some of them from South Africa and all that, I'm sure that's part of the reason why he's taking his time, so that any decision that comes out, to be fair enough to justify the call.
I understand the part of the referee. Even as some, you know, fans here in Nigeria are complaining, why must it be a South African center referee for this crucial match, considering the fact that we just played against South Africa and we're not given the other country that should have organized or, you know, managed this match today. But then the referee understands all this, and that is why he's taking his time to, you know, consult the VAR, so that whatever reason, that whatever decision, whatever outcome of the VAR can also be, you know, seen as something very, very legitimate, something very, very plain, something that can. Okay,
the referee has called that goal is not a goal, and so I think that it's not a penalty. So as it stands now, the guys are free from that particular one. I'm sure that I'm also sure that you are relieved. That's the beauty of VAR, you know, exactly. Put you intense pressure, because I mean it would have been penalty straight up.
Exactly. That's why it's important. You know, before now I may not be seeing VAR, but today they understand the importance of VAR, because there will be so many incidents to be reviewed. So if you don't do it, you know, the center referee might be blamed that you decided to do this or that. But with the availability of VAR, the decisions can be made, and it will be to the betterment, to be to the satisfaction of both Dick and Harry.
Satisfaction, and let's see how far. I think it's going to be a corner kick there for Gabon, and we hope that Nigeria will, you know, guard their play very well to ensure that there's no. Okay, that was a fine one. Well taken by. You know, Balidia, and then play resume formally. So I mean, it's been in the last 6-7 minutes. It's been a very pressure moment for Team Nigeria, you know, going into this particular one, and I just hope that they will be more careful. But the players on the both sides, because it's one thing very difficult is you play so much, and then some careless touches or, you know, foul within the defensive area could just dampen your dream of being at the World Cup.
Yeah, what you said is just the truth. And that is why the players are playing with carefulness, because a little error can just cost the 3 points. And when that is done, it's not just the 3 points. Your dream of playing in the World Cup is just out. Okay, and that's why the players are doing everything. You know, you might look at it from the perspective of a fan, you know, seeing the game and enjoying the game. Say, this player is sluggish. This player is supposed to, but they understood the rhythm of the match. They understood what it means to defend critically and to defend in a manner that does not call, you know, for a review. Because when a time to review, anything can happen.
Yeah, true.
The referee can just come and say, point hand in the center.
That's all.
And that's the penalty. Nobody cancelled it. You can only protest at the end of the day. You can even receive a yellow card for talking too much. So the players understand all this, and that is why they are playing with utmost carefulness. And that is what we need. Today's match is very, very crucial, and every player understands that. And that's why they are playing with all manner of carefulness. I understand them. But then, in the process of playing carefully, don't also forget that we need the 3 points.
No.
There are certain risks you have to take as a player. You know, those watching might shout, but then you are doing what you're supposed to do as a player. If you fold their arms akimbo and said, let me be more careful, so that the attackers, you know, opponent can come and take advantage of you and then score the goal. So that is why, even in the midst of the carefulness, you still have to be very, very clinical in front of goals, and careful also in your defense line.
Careful also in the defense line, and that was in fact, a good one there, but stopped by Bassi. One of the attackers of the Gabonese side. They are struggling with Kevin Bassi, you know, to take the ball. But I'm sure that the young man will not want to agree to that. I think the referee has given him the right, and he has won. A free kick in his favor. Let's take a look at the defensive framework. The solidity we have seen so far in the defense will be attributed. Okay, I think there's a change now that will be made now. We are going to see, okay, Ademola Lookman has been will be out, and he will be replaced by two players are out already. Same with Moses Simon too is also in. Okay, so we get to see that change. The manager,
Yeah.
The person will always say that he knows when it comes to changes and substitutions.
Yeah.
He's always apt. Yes.
Yeah, the coach is actually always spotted when it comes to substitution, and I think so far in his record as the current Super Eagles coach, I always rate him high. Then talking about the defense line, as you said, we have Osai Samuel, you know,
Osai Samuel, Kevin Bassi,
Sanusi, and Frederick. Yeah, the defense line. One thing about this defense line is the ability to understand each other. Okay, there is no misunderstanding between them. They don't misunderstand even the passes. So with that, they were able to flow the ball to the midfield. And the midfield, who are very, very compact, translate the ball to the wingers and the strikers. So for the formation, Nigeria playing 4-1-3-2 formation because we need goal. The coach is playing that because you have to be conscious in the defense line, careful in the defense line, at the same time eager to score goals. So it's as if they are moving forward as a unit, coming backward too as a unit. So all hands are on deck. The coach understands it, and that is what they are being played for now. And if they continue like this, I know, I never rated the Gabonese side very, very low, no, because this is a very crucial match. Any team can win. But so far, I think the Super Eagles of Nigeria, is winning position-wise. So chances are being created. If they continue in this fit, maybe before 80 minutes, there will be a goal for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Well, it looks like the Gabonese are now coming into the game because the Super Eagles are no longer pushing so forward. They are pushing the Super Eagles now to their own house, ensuring that the Super Eagles don't have enough time to play in their own halves, half of the game, and that's that also presents some danger because when the opposite side keep pushing to your side, the possibility of making one error and anything can happen, but because when you possess the ball and you are always at the opponent's half, that's an advantage altogether. But Nigeria is not. They lose possession easily to the Gabonese in this second half. Yeah,
the Gabonese side also possess some, quality players. We have Abumayang, we have some players like Poco, we have some players like Buanga. These players are very, very, intelligent when it comes to goal scoring, and sometimes you can't take away the ability to also possess and press. So the pressing should be both team. Nigerians can't press for the whole 90 minutes, okay? And that is why, but at the end of the day, for now, if you check the possession, we are having more. But I know the Gabonese side understand the reason that they can't, remain in their shell. A time will always come out when they will have to come out. Yeah. But my target is that when they will come out, the Super Eagles should be clever enough to understand their intention and stop them on the way, because a player like Aubameyang is very, very skillful. He can score from any corner of the field. So the players are aware of all this, and that is why it's as if the Gabonese, for now, coming out to play more. But the coach understands the match. As they are playing, the Super Eagles will also push them to a corner, whereby taking back the possession. So that is how it's supposed to be. You don't expect the Super Eagles of Nigeria to possess them for the whole of 90 minutes. A time will come when the Gabonese side will take over the possession. So that's football for me.
Right, is corner kick for the Gabonese, and let's see what they can do with this particular one. They've been pressing the Super Eagles in the last 5 minutes, and they're hoping that that was just too much for them. I think that it's going to be okay. That's a goal kick now. Is it another? Another corner kick. Hoping that Aubameyang is really cheering and gingering, his team there. Hoping that they can put that particular one. All right. So we'll get to see how it all plays out. But they are really putting more pressure on the Super Eagles of Nigeria, hoping that they can get something, out of this particular encounter. And then I can see also Basi not taking it easy at all, showing that they do everything to push away the guys. And I think that does it. The guys are in for this one. Nwabali picks up the ball, and that's this. Okay. Let's talk about Nwabali as a goalkeeper. It looks as though it looks as though something is happening. You see a corner kick. I see corner kick, and more pressure on the Super Eagles. Expectations are really high in this particular one. But the Super Eagles players are not taking anything to chance. They know that they need to do everything within their ranks to keep this game on for their play. And okay, Nwabali gets that one easily, and I'm sure that they will be in now. All right, let's talk about Nwabali a little bit. It looks as those schoolboy errors have not seen that so much in this encounter. Maybe because of the return of Maduka Okoye.
Yeah, after the last match we played with Benin Republic and South Africa. Yeah. We noticed some, little errors, by him, and not just that too. The body altercation and the rest of them with the opponent, he has been talked to, and he understands that this match is a very, very crucial one. That is need to be very, very professional in this game. And some people were even calling for the coach to make use of Maduka Okoye. But if I'm in the shoes of the coach too, definitely I will make use of Stanley Nwabali. We understand Stanley Nwabali very, very well. He is the angel we know. And I think we need to use him, because if you use Maduka Okoye in today's match and anything negative happens, everybody will start questioning you. Why don't you use the one we know? He has been doing well. Why the sudden change? So the coach actually understood this, and that is why he was able to stick to Stanley Nwabali. What was done to Stanley Nwabali was to encourage him, talk to him, let him understand the gravity of today's match, let him understand how valuable today's match is, how highly placed today's match is, and urge him to be professional even in his mood and reactions. Okay, yes, avoid any unnecessary altercation which might even cause a red card or yellow, as it may be. So he sticks to that instruction, and that is why for now I can see him doing very, very well.
It looks as though Nigeria have not really made use of their set piece, and also corner kick. If you look at Arsenal gets 4 set pieces, you expect that one of them would definitely turn out to be a goal. But I've not seen that one. And you also look at the goals scored by Victor Osimhen the last time. You know that almost all of them came from those crosses. We have not really seen the flanks, displaying and getting those balls across to Victor Osimhen, or maybe the attackers to do the deadly damage.
Matches are in different categories. There are matches where you'll be opportune to have the chances of crossing the ball, and there are matches where you'll be man-marked to the extent that few crosses will come. One thing I want to believe is that whenever chances come, the Super Eagles will convert it, because for now, in the first half, they actually had few chances that were not converted, and now in the second half, it's as if the chances are not coming, the way they flowed in the first half. So whichever way that comes, it should be utilized, because you are playing with Gabon, a very experienced side with good and quality players. So you will not play the match alone. You will not do the playing and they fold their arms and watch you. Okay, it's going to be both teams. Both teams will play, but then at the end of the day, whoever has a better opportunity then wins. I think the wingers may not be opportune to flow in the crosses as they have been doing, but I know whenever it comes, certainly they will do same and communicate to Victor Osimhen, who directly will convert the goal.